Alrighty, folks, happy hump day to you. It is Wednesday, November 1st, 2023. Weekend's right around the corner. We are halfway there, and we're at the beginning of a brand new month. It's November already. And of course, my name is Brock Page. I've been dishing out free sports picks on YouTube since 2016. And if you want to see which one of these free plays on my videos that I actually like the best, you may want to think about signing up for a membership on my premium page. My $1.99 daily best play costs just $1.99 for 30 days of service. You get one premium selection of mine every single day for the next 30 days. The math works out to be just 6 cents a day. And once again, you may be wondering what the difference is between what I do with these free videos and what I do on my premium site. Well, what I do with these free videos is I'll handicap the entire slate of games in any given sport, side, and total. And what I do on my premium page is, well, I actually share with you which one of these free plays I actually like the best. The site's patreon.com/BrockPage. If you're watching on TikTok, the link is in my bio. And if you're watching on YouTube, the link is in the description section below. And with that, folks, let's go ahead and dive into some free content. We're going to take a look at the Blazers at the Pistons, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Detroit's the 4-point favorite, totals 214. We saw a half a point move toward the Blazers and the under in this one. Now, Portland's lost 3 of 4 to start the year, and they've been terrible on the offensive end of the court. The Blazers are averaging just 101 points a game. They're actually the second worst three-point shooting team in the league right now. They're facing a Pistons club on the other side of things, who actually got the W in 2 out of their last 3. They play pretty tough on defense thus far. Detroit's in the top 5 in the league right now in fewest field goals allowed per game. Jalen Duren's averaging a couple of blocks per contest, 5th in the league in rebounds per contest. And when it comes to offensive production, Cade Cunningham, he's averaging 21 points a night, and he's making 40% of his shots from three-land. Now, injury-wise, Livers, Morris, and Bogey are still out. Jalen Duren's also day-to-day officially, although I'm optimistic he'll suit up. I wouldn't have, rattled through some of his stats if I didn't think he was going to play here today. Now for Portland on the other side, Simons and Wainwright are out for them. When it comes to the total in this one, Portland saw 2 out of their last 3 stay under the total. Unders against the likes of the Raptors and Magic. Meanwhile, Detroit saw unders this year against the likes of Charlotte and Miami. Give me the Pistons -4, under 214. All right, next ball game, it is going to be Bucks Raptors, 7 o'clock Eastern start time. Milwaukee's the 5-point favorite on the road. Total is 224.5. We saw a half a point move toward Milwaukee and the over in this one. And speaking of the Bucks, they've won 2 of 3 to start the year, and they're scoring a whole bunch of points. Milwaukee's averaging 117 points a game, and they're making nearly 50% of their field goals. Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's making over 55% of his attempts from the field. He's also averaging a team-best 27 points a night. Meanwhile, Dame Lillard's averaging over 23 points a game himself. They're facing a Toronto club who's on a 3-game skid, and they really struggled with the ball in their hands. As a matter of fact, the Raptors are averaging fewer points a game than any other club in the league. And no real shock here, folks. Toronto's a bottom 3 field goal shooting team in the East. Christian Koloko is still out for the Raptors. Precious Achiuwa is doubtful. 3 out of Toronto's last 4 ball games fell under the total. Unders against the likes of the Blazers, Bulls, and T-Wolves. They also went 60% to the under in their last 10 head-to-head gatherings with Milwaukee. So if you're into historical trends, plenty of unders to go around. Give me the Bucks -5. Under 224.5. Next matchup, Wizards-Hawks, 7:30 Eastern start time. Atlanta's -8, totals 238. And even though the Hawks are favored by a few baskets here, they haven't been crisp on D. These guys allow nearly 117 points a game. And a lot of that is due to the three ball. Atlanta's opponents are knocking down 40% of their three-pointers against them. They're facing a Washington club who can certainly get to the hoop themselves. As a matter of fact, the Wizards are scoring more second-quarter points than any other team in the NBA. Kyle Kuzma is dropping over 22 a night, 6.5 boards he's averaging as well. Meanwhile, Kispert and Jones are knocking down 43% of their three-pointers respectively. Daniel Gafford's day-to-day for Washington. Trae Young questionable for Atlanta. When it comes to the total, we are looking at two very lackluster defensive teams. Two out of Washington's last three also got over the total. Atlanta saw overs recently against the likes of Minnesota and New York. Give me Washington +8 over 238. Next ball game, Pacers Celtics 7:30 Eastern start time. Boston's -11, totals 231. Now the undefeated Celtics are rebounding quite well on offense. They're making 16 three-pointers a game on average. Jaylen Brown's drilling 46% of his long balls, second on the roster in points. And speaking of scoring, Jason Tatum's getting over 29.5 points a game, and he's making 55% of his attempts from the field. They're facing an Indiana team who can certainly put themselves in a hole early. These guys give up more first-quarter points a game than any other club besides one. Doing a bad job defensively early in games. And in their last 10 head-to-head gatherings with Boston, the Pacers got the W only 3 times, really struggling in head-to-head meetings. Smith, Mathieu, and Halliburton are all questionable to suit up here this evening for the Pacers. Keep an eye on them. Meanwhile, for Boston, they're mostly healthy for the exception of Neemias Queta. He is doubtful with a foot. Now, total-wise, I'm not sure the Pacers are going to be able to do enough to help get this one over. Big scorers are currently on the injury report. They also saw 2 out of their last 3 meetings with the Celtics stay under the total. Give me Boston -11, under 231. Next ball game, it is going to be Nets Heat, 7:30 p.m. East. Miami's the 6-point favorite, totals 222. But for a team laying a couple of buckets here, the Heat's playing some bad basketball at the moment. They're on a 3-game skid, and they gave up a whole lot of points in the process. Miami's having a tough time guarding the perimeter, and they're actually not rebounding well on defense either. They're facing a Brooklyn team on the other side who's actually rebounded well in the early going here, and they're also shooting well. Brooklyn's drilling 41% of their three-pointers. They rank in the top 3 in offensive field goal percentage. Cam Thomas is the team's leading scorer with 33 points a game. 61% shooting from the field for Cam. Meanwhile, Dorian Finney-Smith is drilling 46% of his long balls. He also averages 13 points a game. Now, injury-wise, Claxton and Johnson are still out for Brooklyn. Smith and Dinwiddie are doubtful. Meanwhile, for Miami, Butler, Adebayo, and Highsmith are questionable for them. Caleb Martin's out. Now, total-wise, the Nets have seen all 3 of their contests this season get over. Meanwhile, Miami saw 2 out of their last 3 get over the number themselves. Overs against the likes of the Bucks and Celtics. Give me Brooklyn +6 over 222. Next contest, Cavs, Knicks, 7:30 East. New York 6.5, totals 211 and a hook. Now, the Knicks beat up on the Cavs just last night in Cleveland. They took care of the Cavaliers 109-91. And I'll tell you what, this is a New York team who is currently playing some very tough defense. They're allowing just 49 second-half points a game on average. And when it comes to shooting the long ball against them, well, they're going to contest you. They're going to put a hand in the face, make things uncomfortable. New York's allowing their opponents to make just 30% of their three-pointers against them. Jalen Brunson's got a handful of steals on this season, second on the roster in points as well. And speaking of scoring, R.J. Barrett's averaging a team-best 21 points a game. They're facing a struggling Cleveland squad who lost 3 straight. And they gave up a whole bunch of points in the process. The Cavs are letting their competition make 40% of their three-pointers against them. When it comes to offensive production, the Cavaliers just can't get to the hoop. They're second to last in the league in second quarter scoring. LeVert, Jerome, Garland, and Allen are questionable for Cleveland. When it comes to the number, the Cavs' last 6 straight against the Knicks fell under the total, 8-1 to the under in their last 9. So once again, if you're into historical trends, certainly want to think about that one there. Plenty of unders to go around. Now, as far as this season is concerned, the Knicks saw 3 out of their last 4 ball games stay under the total. Unders against the likes of the Celtics, Pelicans, and this very Cavaliers team. Give me New York minus 6.5, under 211 and a hook. All right, next ball game, Pelicans, Thunder, 7:30 Eastern start time. Oklahoma City is minus 3. Total is 225.5. And I do like the Thunder in this spot here. They won 3 of 4 to start the season. And they failed to cover only 1 time during that stretch. And when it comes to offensive production, this is one of the better shooting teams in the league. They're in the top 10 in field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, and shooting from the stripe. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander scoring a team-high 26 points a game, along with 95% shooting from the foul line. Meanwhile, Chet Holmgren's drilling 63% of his long balls. He's also averaging 15 points a game. Now, they're facing a Pelicans team on the other side of things who's currently not built for a track meet, at least as of right now. These guys are in the bottom 3 in the West in points per contest. And no real shock here, they're having problems scoring late in games. New Orleans averaging just 46 second-half points per night. Now, injury-wise, Marshall and Alvarado are still out for the Pels. Brandon Ingram's questionable with a knee. Meanwhile, for Oklahoma City, both Williams are going to be inactive for tonight's contest. When it comes to the number, OKC saw overs recently against the likes of the Pistons and Bulls. 4 out of their last 7 meetings with New Orleans also got over the total. Give me Oklahoma City minus 3 over 225.5. Next matchup, Hornets, Rockets, 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Houston's the 2-point favorite, totals 223. We saw a half-point move toward Houston and the over in this one. And despite being favored by a bucket here, the Rockets have yet to win a game this season, and they're giving up a whole bunch of points. They're facing a Charlotte team who loves to get on the board late. As a matter of fact, the Hornets lead the NBA right now in fourth quarter scoring. That back door always open. Terry Rozier scoring a team-high 22 points a night. Brandon Miller makes 44% of his shots from long range. When it comes to the total in this one, both clubs saw 2 out of their last 3 ball games stay under the number, respectively. Give me the Hornets plus 2, under 223. Next matchup, Nuggets, T-Wolves. That's going to be an 8 o'clock Eastern start time. Denver's the 3-point favorite away from home. Totals 223. Now, the undefeated defending world champs are shooting 54% from the field. That is a league best. Nikola Jokic is scoring 26.5 points a game, along with a dozen rebounds. Meanwhile, Jamal Murray's second on the roster in points. He's also drilling 50% of his 3 balls. Now, they're facing a Minnesota club on the other side who lost 2 of 3 to start the year. And they've been having all kinds of problems getting to the hoop. Matter of fact, these guys are the worst second-half scoring team in the game. The T-Wolves are averaging only 42 second-half points per contest. Milton and McDaniels are questionable for Minnesota. The T-Wolves saw 2 of 3 to start the year stay under the total. Meanwhile, Denver has yet to see an over in 4 outings this season themselves. Give me the Nuggets minus 3. Under 223. Next matchup, Bulls, Mavs, 8:30 p.m. East. Dallas is the 5-point favorite, totals 225. Now, the undefeated Mavs are making more 3-pointers a game than any other club in the association right now. Luka Doncic is drilling 49% of his shots from beyond the arc. 39 points a game for Luka as well. Meanwhile, Williams and Green are both draining over 44% of their 3 balls. They're facing a Chicago club who failed to cover the number in all but one of their games this year. When it comes to offensive production, these guys are certainly not built for a track meet, at least not as of yet. Chicago scores fewer second quarter points than any other roster besides one. Zach LaVine's also banged up for Chicago. Keep an eye on him. Meanwhile, for Dallas, Kyrie Irving is questionable with a foot. Now, when it comes to the total in this one, all three of Dallas's games this year got over the total. Overs against the likes of Memphis, Brooklyn, and San Antonio. Give me the Mavericks -5 over 225. Next ball game, Grizzlies Jazz, 9 o'clock East. Utah is the 3-point favorite. Totals 227.5. And for a team laying a bucket in this spot here, Utah hasn't played great. They've lost 3 of 4 to start the year, and they're having a tough time on defense. Matter of fact, Utah's got the worst defensive field goal percentage in the NBA right now. They're letting their opponents make 52% of their field goals against them. And no real shock here, Utah's giving up 121 points a game. That's nearly worst in the Western Conference. And even though the Grizzlies haven't played good at all, they are a legit threat to shoot the long ball. They're making 14 three-pointers a game despite their record. Jaren Jackson's making 41% of his long balls, second on the roster in points. And when it comes to the scoring, Desmond Bane's averaging a club best 25.5 points a night. Now, injury-wise, Rose and Aldama are out for the Grizzlies. And when it comes to the total, 8 out of these teams' last 10 head-to-head gatherings did get over the total. Utah saw overs in all of their games besides one this year. Give me the Grizzlies +3 over 227.5. Next matchup, Kings-Warriors, 10 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Golden State's the 6.5-point favorite at home, totals 233. Now, I think the X factor in this one is the defensive play of Golden State. Now, we know both teams have little problems getting to the basket, putting up points, but it's this Golden State defensive effort that I think gets the job done for them. They're currently in the top 5 in defensive field goal percentage. They're also limiting their competition to just 104 points a game. Chris Paul leads the roster in steals on defense, 11 points a night offensively as well. And when it comes to points, well, Steph Curry is leading the scoring right now. He's averaging a team-high 33.5 points a night. Now, they're facing a Sacramento team who has a tough time getting stops. They're allowing 121 points a game. That's nearly a league worst. No real surprise here. The Kings' opponents are making nearly 50% of their attempts from the field against them. And before you go ahead and start pounding the over in this one, just keep in mind Golden State's 3-1 to the under to start the season. And in their last 10 head-to-head gatherings with Sacramento, the under has cashed in 70% of those contests. Give me Golden State -6.5, under 233. And with that, folks, we're going to jump into our next and final matchup for the video. Clippers-Lakers, 10 o'clock Eastern start time. The Lakers are the 5.5-point favorite. Totals 225. And for a team laying a couple of buckets here, well, the Lakers have been getting owned by the Clippers over the past couple of years. And as a matter of fact, the Lakers haven't beaten the Clippers since July 30th of 2020 in the bubble. I forget how many straight wins that is, but guys, that's 3 years. Once again, Lakers have not recorded a W over the Clippers since July 30th of 2020. And in their last 10 head-to-head meetings, the Clippers have held the Lakers to just 104 points a game. And we could see more of the same here tonight. The Lakers have been little threat shooting it from downtown this season. The Lakers are making just 29% of their deep balls. And, of course, they're facing a Clipper team who's played really tough defensively this year. They allow only 104 points a night, and they tend to force all kinds of turnovers on D. Now, Paul George leads the club in steals. He's also the team's leading points getter. Meanwhile, Kawhi Leonard's making 48% of his three-pointers and averages over 19 points a game. Now, injury-wise, Cam Reddish and Rui Hachimura, they are questionable for the Lakers. Keep an eye on them. When it comes to the total, the Lakers' last 2 meetings with the Clippers, did get over the total. Meanwhile, the Clippers are 3-1 to the over for the entire season thus far. Give me the Clippers plus 5.5 over 225. And with that, folks, now it is time for my quick pick recap. Give me the Pistons -4 under 214. Milwaukee Bucks -5 under 224.5. Wizards +8 over 238. And if you want to see which one of these free plays on this video that I actually like the best, today's daily best play on my premium page is going off for just $1.99. And if you sign up for that membership here today, you're going to get access to one premium selection of mine every single day for the next 30 days. The math works out to be just 6 cents a day. The link is in my bio. Give me the Celtics -11 under 231. Brooklyn Nets +6 over 222. New York Knicks -6.5 under 211 and a hook. Oklahoma City Thunder -3 over 225.5. Charlotte Hornets +2 under 223. Give me the Nuggets -3 under 223. Dallas Mavericks -5 over 225. Memphis Grizzlies +3 over 227.5. Golden State Warriors -6.5 under 233. With my next and final free pick for the video, give me the Clippers +5.5 over 225. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium page. Now, if you do end up getting a membership here today on patreon.com/BrockPage, just a friendly reminder, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships absolutely free. They're going to be included with your purchase. That's why I always tell folks that chairman package that I have, it's a full access, all-inclusive membership. It gives you access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you also get access to my Chairman podcast, absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, folks, happy Wednesday to you. Happy hump day to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium page at patreon.com/BrockPage.